this is what I primarily want to cover. Dilemma. I'm a first generation entrepreneur, which means my father was not a businessman or an entrepreneur, and even I am the first generation graduate itself. So I in my life I said a lot of practices. At the time, I had a lot of dilemma what to do. So I believe most of you will also have the same kind of question, and I believe my answer will help you to choose which one. The first question I had was full time or side business. Full time business or side business. Which one I have to choose? This is the biggest question I had since we won't have any. I didn't have any big bank balance in my bank, money balance in my bank. So I had to choose side business for some time with the right way, which means I invested my time and I earned many people, and I ensured that okay, it is coming good. I could meet the expectation of the people. At one point of time, I believed okay, it is right time to step into full time. Then I came in. So I would say you have to experiment your idea first before jumping into full time. And if it works well, then you can focus on full time. For me, it took 4 years of my weekends. I had to invest 4 years of my weekends to experiment my idea. That worked well. Then I came into full time. And if you have any more questions on this, you can reach me. I can very well help on this part. And the next question I had was one man army or partnership. This is where I struggled a lot. In fact, um, like I tried with many people as a founder, as a co-founder, but it didn't work at all. Um, the reason is my uh, way of approach was totally different from another person, and the way we solved the problem was also different. So I had to come out of many co-founders, and thankfully there were no any conflict of interest uh, between myself and them. But it's all about wasting time. They had to travel with me as well as, and a lot of time invested myself also. So that ate most of my time. So it's up to you to find the right person. The right person means someone with whom you can fight, the person with whom you can argue, but the argue in the end of argument it will be about the topic, it will not be about the people. If you find people like them, then you can go for co-founder. Otherwise it is good to be a one man army. And the next question I had was commercial office or home office. Commercial office, can go for commercial office if your business is about bringing people to your place. For example, if you are going to start a restaurant, or if you are going to do some business where people will come to your place, then definitely you need to go for commercial office. Otherwise, it's all about some services that you are going to do. Then I would suggest to start with home office, because commercial office it will require a lot of liquidity, and initially you will not know what are the expenses that you are going to have. So I would suggest to go for a home office if it is not mandatory to bring your customers to your place. And proprietorship or private limited, if you had tried this, then you would have come across this question. I had the same question, like should you choose proprietorship or private limited company? My company is a private limited company, but I don't have two directors. According to rules, government rules, we need to have two directors. So people suggested me to go for proprietorship, but I chose another idea. That is one person company, which means there can be only one director, but still that can be a private limited company. I chose this. The reason is I had to do business with big companies. For example, Pyoda Technologies or Hogarth or Bootstrap. Those are the companies that multinational companies who will expect to do business with another private limited company only. So if your business model is, or if your solution is, if you are going to give solution for some private limited companies or big companies, then you need to go for private limited company. Else It is not about dealing with business. It's all about dealing with individual people. Means then you can go for sole proprietorship. Again, there is a drawback with the proprietorship. That is, if you run a company for 5 years as a proprietor, you cannot use that 5 years experience for that company. You have to start from scratch after 5 years. So it's all about a small business that you are doing. So if that is not a problem, then you can go for sole proprietorship, and there will be very less effort required to run a proprietorship. But when it comes to a private limited company, there will be a lot of formalities that you have to follow, from filing the tax, a lot of things. So based on your need, you can go for either proprietor or private limited. And the next question I had was, should I hire freelancer or part-timers or full-time employees? Freelancer, I started with hiring a freelancer because I didn't have enough project in hand. But at one point of time, getting result from freelancer was not that much easy. So I had to hire some part-timers. And at one point of time, I had enough fund to run for at least 3 to 4 months. So at that time, I hired full-time employees. So if you have enough fund, then you can go for full-time employees. Else, you have to run the show through part-timers or freelancers. And should I outsource? Outsource means giving some of your tasks to someone else. I see many people who will think like they can do everything themselves, but it is a bad thing, that I would say, because being an entrepreneur, you have to take care of a lot of things. For example, tax filing or auditing, so many things. If you think you can do everything, then you are going to burn a lot of time on small steps. So you cannot focus on one thing. So you have to find ways to outsource as many as possible, so that you can focus on one thing. That is your goal. So I can give one example. One person who is from IT industry, who was running a restaurant, and he thought he can take care of everything. So he didn't hire any big auditor. So all formalities that he took care of. And after running 3 years, he got one notice from government stating that you have to pay 5 lakhs penalty for not paying tax. He was shocked, and he hired some consultants, and then only he understood that he had to file null return. Otherwise, it will be considered as penalty. It will be considered as um, you are making mistake against government. So he had to pay 5 lakhs just because he was not ready to outsource his filing, tax filing, to some experts. So you have to identify those kind of tasks, something that will give big problem in future. You have to identify that, and you should be ready to outsource that, so that you can focus on your growth. And these are the dilemmas I had, and I believe the answers I have given will help you to decide. And there are some personal learnings I got from my entrepreneurship. The first one is, you have to identify your niche. We always want to tell that I can do everything. I can give all kind of solutions. This is the biggest mistake that we do. You have to identify your niche. What is the Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Great. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. There was a power cut, so I had to connect through mobile hotspot now.
Okay, sir. No issue.
Okay. This is where we left, right? So niche. So you have to identify one single problem which you are going to solve, and you have to focus yourself, and you have to project yourself on that. You have to brand yourself on that. So if you ask any of the people in my network, they will say, "Well, Murugan, if anyone want to get a job, then go and reach him. He will get a job." That's the brand that I have created myself. That's the primary goal that I took. Likewise, you have to find your niche and focus towards it. And the next one is, many of us think investment is the first thing that we have to see, but money is the last problem that you have to solve. Before that, there are a lot of problems that we have to solve. The first one is, as I said, niche. The next one is bringing business to you. The third one is ability to provide quality solution for that. And the final one is money, because the money will automatically come if you have all the three things in place. That is, you have a clear problem statement, and you have a good solution for it, and you have the capability to market yourself, and you have capability to provide good service. So if you have that, then investment will always come to your place. So you have to think about that in later stage only. And this is one big thing that I would say. It is okay to lose. Many of us will say, never ever give up. Yeah, you should not give up in entrepreneurial journey, but it is okay to lose sometimes. For example, there will be some deals, and you may not have proper returns from that. At the time, you should not focus more on that small problem and bringing new problem coming into that. Instead of that, you have to say, okay, that didn't work out well. Let me focus on something else. That's the gut that you should have. And network is net worth. If you don't have network, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much how quality service you are providing, no matter how visionary you are, you cannot survive. So you have to validate yourself how good your network is, how many people will recommend you for a service. So you have to focus on that first. And you should have an advisor. Many think that everything can be learned from internet. That is completely wrong. You can get information from internet, but you cannot get answer from internet. You need an advisor who will help you to reach your goal. So you have to identify that person. That can be your father or someone in the industry. You have to discuss with him. You have to have at least one call with him for 30 minutes and explain what are the things that you are doing, what are the problems that you face. He will give you solutions, and that will help you to reach your goal in right time. And it is one of the important thing that I learned. You should learn to say no. Being an entrepreneur, automatically you will start saying yes. The reason is you want people. The previously I told, right, network. So you will always try to say yes, and in the later stage you will lose that people. So you should practice to say no when something is not aligned to your goal. Once you set your goal, you should be ready to validate whether this yes will take me towards that goal, or this yes will take me away from my goal. If it is something that will take you away from your goal, then you should say no in right way. It's an art of saying no that you can practice. Another one is, you should have a benchmark. Being an entrepreneur, you will always say like yes